Mhm.
Hello, my name is Kang Hee Hong. I am the Director of Adult Education at the Regional Office of Education 33, but only for 2 more weeks because I am changing my position. I'll let Autumn introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Autumn Carson, and I've worked for the Regional Office of Education for 3 years, and 2 of those years I've worked as the English as Second Language instructor for the Workplace Skills Enhancement Grant at Smithfield Foods.
So today we are going to share with you our experience of developing this workplace focused literacy program with our local employer and share our um, tips that could help you develop something like this. Thank you for having us. So we are the Regional Office of Education. For those of you who are not familiar with ROE, there are 35 ROEs in Illinois. They oversee all the school districts in the region that they provide services. So licensings for teachers, paraprofessionals, and professional development for educators and the community. And that the school districts are compliant to the education laws and any things that are abide by the updates and any changes from the state education department. We are located in this region here, covering 4 counties: Henderson, Mercer, Warren, and Knox. And for adult education, we have classes in Monmouth, Galesburg, and Carthage. So we are very unique ROE actually, because we are the only ROE that provides whole adult education program, which includes the adult English as a second language program and the high school equivalency preparation classes. So we serve over 200 students every year. So just this year alone, so far we have 217 students, 110 ESL, and the rest high school equivalency students. So we reached out to our local employer, Smithfield Foods, where they hire people from different countries, even if they don't have any English proficiency. So that is the reason why we have such a large number of non-English speakers who are coming to our program to learn English. So to explain to you about the Smithfield Foods Company, they have 1,775 employees now. 40% of those employees are English as a second language speakers. So these are the countries they're coming from. And so when we first had a conversation with Smithfield Foods about like, hey, we have majority of our ESL students are your employees, and let's collaborate and we can help you to have better employees who are more confident in the English language. So they expressed these are their needs: the hygiene, machine operation rules, safety procedures, and communication protocols. So that was the base of starting of this workplace skills enhancement program. So I'll let Autumn explain how the class has curriculum and how it's run.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kanki. It's I've been excited to be a part of the program from the beginning, and it's been exciting to watch all of the students grow and learn, not only within themselves, but definitely within the workplace. In order to address the needs that work, the workplace literacy needs that Kang-hee was referring to on the earlier slide, we have a variety of different ways we present the curriculum. We do a hybrid program where we have about 70% of the courses are in person, and then another 30% are online. And some of the materials that we use, we have a workbook that it's focused on workplace skills, and it's called At Work in the US. If anybody ever wants to do a program like this, it's a great book. The students really liked it. We also use Burlington English. I'm sure some of you are familiar with it, but for those of you who are not, it's a software program that has pre-made lessons already embedded throughout, and a lot of them have workplace skills and teach all sorts of different ways to be a great employee. Um, and we also just focus on different things that can help them thrive in the community. Because if they're thriving in the community, then they're also going to thrive at work, such as taking out bank loans, um, or what they might need to do if they would like to pursue a bigger goal one day, maybe get a degree or become a nurse, for example. A lot of my students wanted to be a nurse. To get a little bit more into the curriculum, we talked about the methods. Now I'm going to talk about kind of the meat and potatoes of the lessons. We, of course, do the basic reading, writing, speaking, listening skills, pronunciation. That way I know that they're using their English grammatically correct, the pronunciation is correct. But Cogni had emphasized with me that that she would like, and that Smithfield would like the material to have Smithfield related policies and procedures. So we do use the employee handbook, and we get into things like fire safety drills, tornadoes, where they might go in an event of an emergency like that. We talk about the safety equipment that they wear, all of the names of it, and what purpose that they serve. And we also cover deeper subjects such as sexual harassment or discrimination in the workplace, and what steps they might take. Go to HR, for example. Last but not least, we also go over all sorts of making sure they know how to fill out their forms in English. I do know they have translated copies, but it's nice to hear from the students that they're using their English with HR and that they're filling out the forms in English. We also, of course, cover pay stubs and where their taxes might go. So anything work related, I try to make sure that we cover, and of course add that extra layer of making sure Smithfield's policies and procedures are known in English to the students, and that they fully understand everything. The class, we do serve just the second shift employees at this time. We have talked about trying to find a way to cover other shifts as well. But at this time, second shift employees from 10 to 12, Monday through Thursday. It's every other week. And we also have 2 Zoom classes on the off weeks. And the reason for this, the students work very late, sometimes until 2 in the morning. They're not getting to bed until 4 in the morning. So um, a lot of them are coming to class on 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So it's nice to have the Zoom classes. I usually offer it from 10:30 to 12. Um, and even though they're tired, some of them will even join in their beds. But I'm just always happy to have them no matter what.
So once the employees become our students, they are also eligible to receive our support services that are offered for all adult ed students, which are a bridge education. So the bridge education is um, a short 16-hour course that targets specific interests of career pathways of our students. So they get to choose one of five. So here we have healthcare, manufacturing, hospitality, business, and natural resources. So some students, they choose just one that they are particularly interested and go through the classes and learn what all goes into that career pathway. So it's a introductory level to expose the students so that they can choose whether they will want to go this way or explore other um, aspects. So some students they take one, some students they take all of them so that they can explore and choose what they are most interested. We also provide Essential Skills Academy. So this is basically again another 16-hour course that is focusing on employability skills. So like resume building, interview, what they need to uh, develop and have in terms of the skills to be a good employee. And we also provide transition service. So this is a wraparound service that whatever students needs when they are uh, perhaps applying for a job or exploring different application options, or if they want to go to college, college information, just connecting the college with the students. So that bridging students to make that transition, we also provide that service. So we have a successful story that Autumn, if you are uh, willing to share.
Sure, absolutely. I had a wonderful, well, she actually was my student this year as well. But I have a wonderful student. Her name is Ajawavi Afantoji. I hope I'm saying, I think I'm saying it right. And she started off at intermediate English last year and ended up just working really hard, putting countless hours into Burlington English. Ended up uh, ending the class at an advanced level. We had a speaker at the end of the year who was a friend of mine. He is in the military, and he came and spoke to her. And she has been such a star student. Um, she, I was sad to lose her this year, but shortly after the semester started, she did enroll in the Essential Skills Academy and graduated. And now she actually is in basic training right as we're speaking, and is joining the Army Reserves. So I'm just very proud of her, very impressed with all her hard work in just a year's time.
Thank you, Autumn. So these are the partnership efforts that we have with Smithfield Foods. So in order for the smooth partnership, we make sure that we meet monthly. And this was also a development trial and error. So what we ended up finding out is that the set time of monthly meeting works the best because before with when we started the program, we didn't want to bother Smithfield very much, so we would email them when we need to meet, um, but it ended up email conversation not being timely, so we ended up doing let's just do first Mondays at 10, and this has been working really greatly. So helpful tips in communicating with the employer when you're having this type of program is making things much easier for them, and routine is, I think, always the best. And marketing so that the employees are well um, aware that this program is happening in their facility. So Autumn has done a fabulous job in doing information table. Oh, Autumn, would you like to talk about how you do the information table?
Sure. It's nice because Smithfield does have a nice, pretty nice table already there. So they set it up in a high traffic area where people leaving and coming, um, are able to see the table. We also time it out to where the shifts are ending and beginning between first and second shift. That way we get a lot of foot traffic. And um, there's been times that we've gone and it's been quite overwhelming. Maybe
Mhm.
I think 40 people came to the table one time. So um, definitely was a hit. We just had little pieces of paper with the just very brief information like their name, their phone number, their email, and then they could just slip it in the box. So that way they didn't have to spend too much time. Um,
And that provides really good opportunity for people to see who is the teacher. They get to talk to Autumn. They get to see her, and she does the info table twice a year. Also, Smithfield is very good at uh, putting flyers everywhere throughout the plant, and also they have a large TV screens everywhere, and slideshow about the program is there. And we are currently working on a short video clip of her class so that that could be shown throughout the plant as well. Incentives are very recent development thanks to Autumn's efforts.
yeah, so imagine spending, 10, 11 hours already in a, for a lack of better words, smelly meat packing plant, and then, you know, having to spend 3 hours in addition to that in class. So for the last 2 years, we haven't had much incentives for the students. Their incentive was learning English, thriving, and enjoying camaraderie with other students and myself, the teacher. But that isn't enough to grow the program to the extent that we would like to. Originally, we had tried, Kung Hee, myself, we had tried talking with HR about the cafeteria, about a cafeteria incentive and about maybe offering some money for a level game. We never really got word back on it, and um, it was just something that weighed really heavy on my heart that needed to be done. Well, ironically, our class space is you'll see pictures of it later, but there's a conference room, and with all the nice leather chairs, it's a beautiful shiny black table. The students love it. They feel very special up there. Um, is right next to Bruce is his name, right next to Bruce, the plant manager. And I had walked by him every day for the last 2 years, conducting this class and just a friendly smile. So I had overheard that Bruce is a decision maker in in the company and decided, you know what, why not just step in against lack of better judgment and just try to see what Bruce has to say about this. And honestly, it was less than a 5 minute conversation. He said, I've seen you work hard on this and I'm willing to back you up in any way you need me to. He wrote the proposal for the grant and it was approved the next day. So um, I was really happy uh, to know that he was willing to give the students up to $3 a class for a cafeteria voucher. They have all sorts of food they can buy at lunchtime there. $50 for a point gain on the ECASAS English standardized test, and also $100 for a level gain. So they do also give certificates and a jacket at the graduation at the end, but it to see a financial provision was really exciting. Maybe, and I hope it can be more in the future, to be honest. Thank you.
Yes. Uh-huh. And it's so important that the classes and the people who are taking the classes, the teachers are visible to the head of the employer. I think that was the key how this incentive was passed very quickly and effectively, because the decisions and communication is usually through the HR, not directly with the top person of the employer. So, but in this case, because he sees Autumn every day when she conducts a class, he hears the class, the excitement. So I think definitely that was something that we learned um, new this year. So, all right. So we interviewed one, the previous Smithfield HR manager, and then the current. So the first person is Michelle, who with me developed this program from the beginning, and then Todd, the current manager, he is the continuing um, the the project manager of this program. So let's hear. It's only 6 minutes long.
Hi there, my name is Michelle Rayburn, and I am the Regional Area Human Resource Director with Smithfield Foods.
Hello, my name is Todd Lloyd. I'm the HR manager at Smithfield Foods here in Monmouth.
I remember thinking what a great opportunity for us to help our employees, having worked with educational programs in the past and knowing that we had a lot of new immigrants coming into the building wanting to learn to speak English. I just thought what a great way to work together to offer a benefit to our employees that would help them grow. Mm-hmm. That they know that they have the ability to learn English if they'd like to right at work, right? So it's convenient. It's a good program, and I think it's a good program to continue.
I think first of all, it's just a good employee morale booster to offer other services to our friends from other countries to learn English. Learning English would give them more opportunities within Smithfield, whether it be in the leadership, whether it's in the building or outside the building, and other plants with Smithfield. So I think it's an all-around program to, for them to better their education and skills that could benefit themselves on a day-to-day basis, as well as them at Smithfield.
I will tell you, I have lots of stories. So many of our employees who have participated in the program, we have watched them become more confident in what they do. They have been able to sign up for jobs that require more responsibility. Learning English has, I think, helped them grow not only in their jobs at work for promotable purposes, but also outside of work. I think I've seen them be more involved in community things. I've seen them be more involved in company-sponsored events. So being able to understand and learn and know the language of the culture that you're living in is important for everyone. And so I've seen a lot of good things come from this program.
And my latest story is just the last graduation that we had, watching them, how excited they were to like read their speeches they did and go over that, as well as in the opportunities that we give them to do that, and then working with the supervisors and things, and they're trying to speak in English, and which makes it a little more convenient for us as well as easier for them as well.
So bringing a program like this into a manufacturing facility that's not a school, you have to think about where you can hold class, what are the hours that you can do it. You have to try to work it so that the employees can participate and have a decent work-life balance while still learning. But quite frankly, we didn't have a lot of interruptions and trying to, it was very smooth. ROI worked very well with us to try to sit down and establish who was going to do what and who was going to be responsible for what parts of the program, and then getting approval from our corporate office. Like I said, it went smooth because they're also supportive of helping our employees.
I mean, the challenges here, I mean, sometimes spacing. We don't always, sometimes we only have so many rooms available to do that, and then with business needs and juggling all that, it can be challenging. I think from your perspective, getting more students in here just because you're limited to the second shift employees who can come in during the day, and because maybe the first shift may not want to come at night, and the hours we work here sometimes makes a little more. I mean, you got to be dedicated to do the program with the hours we work here to get that done outside of that.
I would recommend a workplace literacy program to every employer that has people working in their workforce who do not speak English. I think it helps build confidence in the employees, camaraderie. It gives the employees more opportunities for growth. It helps them when they're at home in their personal lives, out in the communities. It's just a great benefit for any employer to offer to their employees.
It's a great program. There's no downside to doing it. I mean, it's good for the employees, and obviously today's day where retention's hard, making employees happier and help them, but also just it's the right thing to do. I mean, it helps our employees who come from another country where English is not their first language to become better citizens, or better partners with us in the community as well in the workplace, and gives them more opportunities within their organization, any organization, to do more than what they could. If production being online is something they don't want to do forever, it's great. They get a chance to then hone their skills to be a line leader, be a supervisor going forward.
Mm-hmm. We have a great culture in Monmouth from plant manager down, actually from, the top of the organization down. And we always like to do everything we can to help our employees. And so great support there. We're always happy to add a benefit that's going to help our employees learn and grow. It's been a great partnership. We've been excellent to work with. We've had good teachers, and our employees have enjoyed learning English, so very proud of themselves. The celebration when they celebrate, and the looks in their eyes, and the stories that they wrote were just really heartening, and get right to the heart. And we're very proud of our employees, and it's been a great success.
It's a good program. I think our employees that participate do well. They enjoy it. They like the teachers they hear. They like that it's here. It's convenient to do. If there's a way we can expand it to where we could get more employees involved, it'd be great.
We also prepared our student speech and one student's interview video as well. So Autumn will share her students' comments.
Absolutely. I'm not going to read every word on the slide. However, here we have Eric TA. He's from the Congo DRC. He said that he was very thankful to Smithfield HR and the ROE for this opportunity. Before, he had difficulty speaking English, and now he can read it and speak it and understand it. And then, of course, Ida, she's saying here she knows her English is better and she's using it every day. These are just testimonials from the students showing that they really do appreciate having the English program at Smithfield Foods, and that it's definitely benefited their lives. I think one of our best examples is in the Zoom interview that that we have of Dennis Pimpa. He is an older gentleman, very admirable. He's in his 60s, and he has 7 children. And so, if you would like to play his experience with the class, please.
My name is Dennis Pimpa. I came from the DRC, Democratic Republic of the Congo. At the moment, I worked at Smithfield. I'm grateful for my work. I'm grateful for my English class. The English class is very good. It allows me to learn a lot of things. For example, the English class teaches me how to protect my work. The English class teaches me how I must respect the instructions of the company, especially my supervisor. The English class teaches me how not to be late for work. The English class teaches me not to leave my workstation until it is time. The English class teaches me how to leave my workstation clean after the service. The English class teaches me to make the present before work and after work. The English class teaches me how to behave at work with my colleagues as well as the hierarchy to have a good collaboration. The English class teaches me not to collect a lot of points so that the employer does not fire me. The English class gave me a lot of opportunities. I started talking with my supervisor in English. I speak English with my work colleagues. I started taking my car to the garage for maintenance or other problems. I start making the bank request for loan and negotiate with the manager in English, without me needing to do the translate. I also accompany many people who don't speak English to help them translate. For example, DMV department and the Department of Social Security. I end to say thank you to my God, Jehovah. Thanks to Bruce, company #1. To set up the free English class, we friend the company Smithfield. Thanks to Kong Hee Hong, supervisor head of adult education, for a good collaboration with our company. Thank you to our teacher, Arthur Carson, who never stops spending his time for our coaching. I want to continue to improve. Thank you.
All right. So we want to share some challenges we faced in establishing this program and maintaining the program. So as this program is funded by Secretary of State Library, and the program that they are wanting us to run through is that 50-50 business and education providers match. And that is challenging because we want to make sure that it is truly the half and half match. And 50% we are asking to the Secretary of State is our instructors' salary, and the rest, that the classroom usage, classroom materials, books, that all being provided through the employer. And we wanted them to also count in the incentive, but as we explained, that did not happen at the beginning. So that was challenging. But the that includes also the employers' time that they spend with us, like meetings and um, things that they have to collaborate with us for reporting and the grant writing and that type of collaboration. Um, and the building relationships with the right people and people who could be beneficial in when we have that communication throughout. So that was also challenge challenge because as we explained, we um, didn't think about going outside of HR, the project managers. So it's just discovering who could be our advocate and our helpers. So I'll also have Autumn explain more detail of that building relationship.
Sure. Um, yeah, definitely was a challenge just knowing the right person to help grow and improve your program. Um, and I would say one of the biggest challenges was probably the class location. Though they did offer the conference room and we were there majority of the time, there were times that, um, like Michelle said in the video, it wasn't exactly a classroom, right? It was a room for important meetings. So oftentimes a important meeting would happen maybe once every 3 weeks, and we would have to kind of come up with a makeshift classroom in order to finish out the day. So that was a challenge. I think Smithfield's going to address it by having they they agreed to build a classroom area for us through this summer. So they said they would put a TV and internet back there and make it nicer. Um, Another challenge is that the employees work, I had said it earlier, they work very long hours. I would sometimes I use WhatsApp to talk with them, and I would see in the morning that they were active at like 4:30 in the morning. So I knew that they were coming to class on like 4 hours of sleep. Um, and it catches up to them, right? They might make it 2 days out of the week, and then they're gonna maybe sleep the next day. So the long work hours definitely catch up to them, and um, having the lack of incentives, I could tell sometimes as the year went on, sometimes would affect attendance and participation. But um, of course, I have wonderful, strong students that made it to the end both years. I'm really proud and happy about that. And then, of course, one of the biggest challenges was COVID. Last year was still pretty bad, so we had to conduct a lot of the course just online. Um, I had the training for it, but it still definitely was a challenge. We weren't able to see each other in person for quite some time.
Yes, that's definitely what really helped was that Autumn was already very well trained online teacher, and when COVID hit, the transition was really smooth. So that flexibility, having that flexibility was definitely very helpful. And we also serve students who are outside of the Monmouth City. We also have students from other cities like Peoria, but because their employer, the Smithfield, is in our service area, we can also serve them. So for them, the virtual class is a very good option. So it's definitely there are some challenges having the workplace literacy class in the employer's site, and that tells you why there are currently only 6 workforce skills enhancement program in Illinois, and we are one of the very successful model. So helpful tips from our experience is that if it is clearer in detail possible for the employer to see how this program is going to be developed, like Michelle said, who is responsible for what and how that's going to look like. It was very, very helpful rather than, okay, we could do this program. How can we do this together? What's your opinion? So it was definitely helpful me going in and say, this is the expectation that we would like to develop with you. And I need this information. Like, what content would you like our teacher to teach? And where can we have the class? Is this time good for you? So just having that option so that they can just choose that is more feasible and that is not possible was definitely helpful. So again, the having the clear direction and the routine check in to go and achieve that goal together is definitely the biggest tip that we would like to offer for those of you who would like to have this workforce literacy program. And this is our happy end of year celebration. We're having one next week, actually. So we'll be having a happy picture again. So during the end of celebration, we invite our regional office of education, the superintendent of schools and assistant superintendent of schools, and the Smithfield heads, the plant managers, and the trainers of the students and supervisors. And there's Autumn.
Yeah, I would just like to add that the students do put in a lot of work for this ceremony. I help them write a final speech. I don't tell them what to put in it. They just kind of ask me for help to make sure that it's grammatically correct and that it says what they want to say. And I'm really excited for the speeches this year. They're very well written, and the class size is a little bit smaller this year, but I'm really excited for Smithfield to hear what they have to say about the class. They've spent a lot of time, like a month, on their presentations now. So yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So
Yes, it's great opportunity for the employers, the Smithfield, to hear what students learned and what they're appreciative.
absolutely. And then of course we give them their certificate for the level gains. And this year we will be giving an incentive at this year's graduation, which I'm excited about. To give some of the students some money and in their certificate. So I'm really excited.
Thank you so much for, again, this opportunity for us to share what we have going on with our local employer, Smithfield Foods. And we hope that there are more and more workplace literacy programs like us, because it definitely helps employers and more so for employees. Thank you.
Thank you.